So I did get some questions that I'll try to answer to the best of my knowledge. One was a good question. Mental illness. I guess, schizophrenia, people seeing things. And I got a cousin, and this guy, he'd done some drugs in his whole life, and he's just not right, But he has claimed to experience some crazy things, But here's what we got with mental illness. Your brain is the receiver, okay? It's like a radio receiving a signal. The signal is spirit, your soul. Your soul communicates, sends the signal to the brain receives it, interprets it to be as such. Okay. If there is deformity in the brain, the receiver, if the brain is impaired, if it's producing too much of one chemical, or not enough, or things aren't working properly, obviously the receiver's broken. The signals aren't getting through, or possibly too much signal is getting through, and the line between the physical and the non-physical can become really thin. And you can only imagine what someone would be going through experiencing that, if you're experiencing a little bit of both worlds and you're not getting the proper information on either, it could really be a bad situation for sure. It's absolutely possible they could be experiencing, the other realities or portions of it, obviously distorted. Another question, you see your body when you get out of body. You touch your body, the feeling, and then all that. And this is there's many different frequencies. Okay, each level that you experience when out of body is a different frequency. Each level is a different frequency. Each body that you can experience is different. Okay. It gets confusing, because a lot of times there's no sign saying, okay, you're on level 1, you're on level 2 now. It's really confusing. You get out, your awareness is kind of at eye level. You don't really perceive your body unless you try to do something that would require you to use it, and then your hand will come out if you need a hand, But the different levels is perceived differently. There are some transparent type, where you look at yourself, you're kind of transparent. Some are really solid. Some are perceived, I would say, even clearer than physical reality. You can, I've sat there and I've just touched my hand, and it felt solid, kind of like rubber or something, But you can sense the feeling of the touch. Warmness, coolness. You can, some levels you can, or zones. You can feel heat. Anything like that. But each frequency is different and experienced in a different way. Fear. Still, there's a lot of fear, and when the most you're going to experience is going to be when you're still in your body during the transitional period of going out of body. So when you're laying there and you're in sleep paralysis and you're about to push out of your body, this is where you're going to experience most of your trauma or traumatic experiences. You'll be hearing stuff. You can hear all kind of voices, noises. This can be frightening. You don't know where it's coming from. But all you have to do is simply relax And when you relax, when you're experiencing this, and clear your head, just relax and focus, and it all goes away. So it's just nothing there. Once you get out of body, you're usually in the clear, you know. It's not really a fearful experience, you know. Yeah, you know, fear still gets a lot of people, and I think when you're in your body, right? Let's say you're asleep, and let's say you come to. You don't come to in your body. You come to in your expanded energy body. And this is where it gets people a lot of times. Because you're in your expanded energy body, you'll think that you're in your body, but you're trying to move and you can't move. You can just barely turn, you know, you can turn a little bit or whatever. And because you're outside of your body, essentially, you can start perceiving things in your room. Like, you start getting afraid, you might see someone, a big dark shadow coming towards you, you know, and you're just kind of rocking back and forth, and you're like, oh shit, you know, and you don't know what to do, you know, and you can't move, and you can't do anything. You know, it can be really traumatic. I've experienced this myself, you know, and I'm like, you know, I'm just kind of blowing and moving and trying to get back, you know, but you know, then you get back in your body, you know, and everything's fine. And that's the whole thing. Everything's always going to be fine, you know. I mean, sometimes you might experience these things, but it's just always going to end up the same way. You're going to be fine, and that's that. Everything is built as a frequency, you know, atoms, perceptions, consciousness. Your perception can cause, you know, atoms to form and create. I was watching a show on pyramids, you know, and I was thinking about sacred geometry. And, on the little show, they had, you know, like copper pyramids, and they would put like fruit underneath it, and the fruit would last longer. And they had experimented with these razor blades, and they would dull the razor blades, put them under the pyramid, and they would sharpen back up. It takes the original imprint, the atoms, okay, the electrons, whatever, but it takes that, the original imprint, or even like water, the hydrogen atom, and it restores it back to its original state. There's certain ways. I mean, it has to be done to a certain proportion, has to be facing a certain direction, true north, usually everything true north, for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know, but it's kind of like your perception, you know. If you focus on something, you perceive your car on the driveway. You know, the atoms that make up the atom or whatever, they jump to attention from wherever they're at to form that object, what you're seeing and perceiving. And somehow these sacred shapes can manipulate that energy, so that energy, there seems to be some kind of building block. There seems to be some kind of structure to the way things work, obviously. And restoring something back to its original state can be done using sacred geometry. I mean, how this works, I mean, I don't know, but definitely does seem to be something to it. You know, it's something I'm going to definitely have to look into myself. But I know that it can take those, wherever in the universe, wherever in the multiverse, you know, those atoms are, they will jump back to to form the original state of an object, you know. But I hope I answered some of your questions, and keep sending them to me, and I'll talk to you guys later.